Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a hair transformation video. So I've pulled photos from the past 10 years. I'm turning 25 next week, so I'm going from 15 to 25 of all the hairstyles I've decided I needed over the past years. So I'm going to be going through those and showing you guys and explaining what my thought process was on each hairstyle. There are some really good ones. So let's start off right at 15 years old. So the first photo here is, I'm looking at my computer, so I'm going to be looking down. The first photo is of, I think it's filtered. My hair wasn't actually that red looking, but it's of a very choppy, very side bang heavy hairdo that I was sporting. I'm actually in my cosmetology class, probably grade 10. You can see Mr. Bizante, my cosmetology teacher, behind me there. But yeah, so I think this was kind of like a running hairstyle that I had coming out of like middle school, going into high school. I was into a different style than most, and so I feel like that's kind of how that ended up. I was really inspired by like the cool, like dark scene kids of the internet, of Tumblr. So that's probably why I had that hairstyle. A better picture is actually this picture. It kind of shows more true to the color in that I have like the blonde coming through underneath, as well as like in my bangs. And I actually remember getting this haircut and going into class, and I thought it was fine. And I went into cosmetology class, and at the end of the class, my teacher's just like, "Oh, why don't I trim your bangs for you so you can see the blonde a little bit better?" And I was like, "Oh, that's really nice. Okay, thanks so much." Like, so he started, because he had owned a hair salon, I think most of his life. He started trimming my bangs, and then he started going through and being like, "Wow, this is like, your hairstylist must have been having an off day." I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "This is an awful haircut." And I was like, "Oh." So he ended up like recutting the whole thing for me. And I don't know whether it was just because I had told the stylist like I just wanted like really short shaggy layers, or if it was actually just a really bad haircut. Anyways, he ended up shaping it up, which is very nice. But so that was kind of that hairstyle. And then after that, at about 16 years, I kind of let it grow out. So it was below my shoulders. It was essentially just a grown out version of the previous haircut. You can see my side bangs are still growing out. Still have that like deep side part going on. But it doesn't look like you can see much blonde in it anymore. It's probably, for the most part, grown out. And that's my friend Haley from high school. That was taken on her iMac in her bedroom. She was one of the few people who had an iMac, and so we used to like just sit in front of it for so long taking selfies. Just embarrassing. This one is taken with a group of my girlfriends in Blue Mountain when we were about 17. So you can pretty much see like I still have that deep side part there, but my hair's pretty much grown out, and it's a lot more plain looking, not plain looking, but a lot more simple looking. I ditched all those shaggy layers and just let it be. And this picture, again, in Haley's bedroom on her iMac, kind of shows it a little bit better. It's just pretty much grown out straight brown hair. And then the next photo, this is just before graduation. You can see my hair is just very, very long and straight. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much as exciting as that gets. It's long, straight brown hair. This is it, probably naturally. I usually didn't blow dry my hair when it was this long because it took a long time. That's it. And this picture shows it a little bit better. You can see how long it's getting and how straight it is. And that's all. Also, these outfits are going to be really good if you notice them. I've noticed the theme of me wearing like a puka shell anklet in lots of these, which is great. This specific outfit was, I was really into Tumblr at the time, and this was when I think like the first like Levi's cut-off shorts were becoming a really big deal. So this was this outfit. Not that we're talking about outfits, but just hair. And then this is on my 19th birthday, so you can see my hair is just essentially the exact same thing, just longer. It's just getting longer, not doing anything with it, just getting longer. And then this next photo is with my friend Nadine. So my hair is still quite long, but I've added some like blondish ends to it. It was when ombre was becoming a thing. So I would have been 19, I would have just been starting college, and that's how I met Nadine, in college. Another photo of it being long. This is just really to show how long my hair was. I remember I used to like sit down at school and my hair would get stuck in the chair behind me. Like if I'd lean forward, it'd like snag my head back. And then this was, I believe, actually on my 20th birthday. I had learned how to curl my hair with a straightening iron, so I took to doing that quite a bit. It added interest to my very long hair. And then the ends look a little bit more blonde, so I've probably gotten them redone. Now the next photo, also 20, you can see there's a drastic change there. So basically how that happened was, I think my mom gave me a gift certificate to a random salon I had never heard of. And I was super, super broke at the time, as a 20-year-old is. And I decided that I needed a hair change and I was just gonna get it all chopped off. So I show up at the salon, I made an appointment, I show up there and I'm just like, they're like, oh, what do you want to do? Do you just want me to add some layers? Do you want me to trim it? Like, no, take it all off. Like chin length, all of it off. And I think I was the only client in the salon at the time, and all the other hairstylists were coming by being like, what do you mean? Why? Are you sure? Like, this is crazy. Like, because my hair at that point was like down to my belly button. And I was like, all of it, cut it all off, I don't care. So eventually they did that. That was kind of like the most drastic hair change of a young age. I continued on with like that short, just brown haircut. This is when I was 21. Yeah, so I kept that up for a little while, and I really did like that. And every once in a while I'd let it grow a little bit longer and then cut it back short. And then this would be later that year. I decided to bleach most of my hair and then leave the roots brown. So this is actually a little bit grown out from when I first got it done. There's only about like an inch of root to start. But I just needed some sort of change. I feel like when it comes to my hair, I'm always looking to somehow make it a little bit edgier or, I don't know, different. Anyway, so I loved this hairstyle. It was very, very different for me, but when my hair was that blonde color and kind of grown out, I got heavy into dyeing my hair purple, which is actually a lot of fun. And when it rinsed out, it was fantastic because my hair was like perfectly toned. But yeah, so I had purple hair for quite some time, and you can see in that photo I also have fake long like black pointed nails, which, God, I've changed. So that was that photo. I really, really did love having purple hair, and my mom to this day will always tell me that when my hair was purple, that was her favorite. And then the next photo is after all the purple has been washed out, and then I just got like a blunt cut. This was taken in Florida, I think about 3 years ago, so I was 22. And I really, really did like this haircut. I specifically like will look at this photo and be like, damn, like I want this hair. And I think it's just because it's like textured, it was windy, you know, the ocean, all that. Anyways, that was a haircut I really liked. Then after that, most of the blonde is grown out, and then you can see how really, this is funny looking at this photo and looking at my hair now. It's essentially the same haircut, just that's my natural color, this is not. So my hair is quite dark here. My hair is naturally very dark, but I had just got it all cut off. I think this is, yeah, this would have been the first time I got bangs, which is actually quite the difficult thing to do with my hair because I have multiple cowlicks within my bangs. Just makes my hairstylist job a little bit harder. But yeah, so I think I have a cowlick on each side, and then I feel like I'm growing some more. I don't know if that's possible, but my bangs are increasingly more difficult to style and to manage. Now the next photo, which is going to be the most drastic of this whole video, is where I got my hair cut off into a bowl cut. So this is definitely my most risky haircut, and I think I had thought about getting a bowl cut for like a week, and then the timing had just been right. So basically I'll explain. So I went back to this hair salon that I had been to once before, and walking in I kind of got a weird vibe. I got my hair cut on New Year's Eve, and it was honestly just because I had, like, my work schedules was the exact same as the hair salon schedule, so I never really had time to get in to get my hair cut. And then on New Year's Eve, my shop was closing early, so I was able to like get in there for an appointment. And the vibe was just like a little bit weird, and the girl was just like, I won't get into it too much. Anyways, so I had asked for a blunt cut, and then near the end of the haircut, she had like lifted up a bunch of hair from my crown and started cutting these really short layers. And I think she could tell I was just like, just because like it definitely wasn't what I wanted, and it wasn't, honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was kind of what happened after, where she started like defending herself and telling me that I wasn't a professional hairstylist, and I wouldn't be able to handle a blunt cut, and all this stuff, and just like started telling me how I couldn't handle it, all this stuff, which, funny enough, she had given me like the blunt cut that I had wanted the previous time I had visited. So I think it was definitely a mistake that she had made, and she was just trying to like kind of cover up for it, which at the end of the day, it wasn't a big deal. All my hair looked relatively the same, just like a lot more thinned out down here, which I'm not crazy about. And the overall experience just was kind of what upset me. So I like kind of left there being like, okay, this is fine, but like I know I'm associating this haircut I'm not crazy about with like this negative experience I just had, and like, so I decided that I was gonna just cut it all off. So one day I was walking home from work, and I was passing by a hair salon, and I just popped in and was just like, hey, I'd like to make an appointment. This is probably 2 weeks after I had just gotten that haircut. And the girl's just like, what do you want to get done? And I just kind of stood there and I was like, I want to cut it all off. I want a bowl cut. And she's like, okay, Nicole's really great at short hairstyles. I'll get you in with her. So I made an appointment one Saturday morning before work. I went in and got my hair all chopped off, which was, I remember sitting there and she did like the first snip around the side, and I was like, holy shit. But it was definitely an extremely cool experience, and I'm so glad that I did it. I ended up keeping that haircut for, I want to say like about 3-4 months before I decided to grow it out. And it's also a lot of maintenance. That's one thing that you don't think about, is each time you go back for a trim, you're paying like $90 to get your hair trimmed, and you have to go back quite regularly, like once a month. And I was just like, I didn't really think about that and couldn't really afford that. So but yeah, I really loved that hairstyle. It was definitely very fun. So I was about 23 there. And so this photo here of Charlotte and I, this is kind of like the first stages of me growing out my bowl cut. So I started like pushing it back. I'd like slick it back sometimes. So this is a very cute photo of Charlotte. This is kind of the first look of growing out a bowl cut. And I will tell you, it is not easy growing out a short haircut. Like, kudos to everyone that does it. It's not simple. I've like spent many hours online like googling wigs and hair extensions just to like, yeah, it's not easy. This photo, you can see I have it like slicked back there, which was also like not an easy thing because of my cowlicks and my hair growing in weird directions, getting it to like stay slicked back didn't work out too well for me. But anyways, I really liked it slicked back. I think it was very cool. So that's that. And then later that year, again, this is in New York. The front of it was growing out, and it would like come down in like a shag over my face. So every time I would do my hair, I'd have to like twist it and pin it back to keep the bangs out of my face, which was fine. You can also see that a little bit better in this photo here. Well, this is a little bit longer. Yeah, definitely a long, I would say about a year and a month, 13-month long process growing out my hair. And this was probably like the first actual haircut I got done, or like new style I got done after growing out the bowl cut, and I got it highlighted and everything. It was very exciting to have like a real person haircut as opposed to like an in-progress haircut. And here's kind of a better look at that. So a very full bang to fight off the cowlicks, which I think are like peeking through right now. So that was that. And then again, this is kind of, it kept kind of consistent to that hairstyle. I would just get it trimmed every now and again. This was in London. Just kept it the same. And then, so I'm about 24 here. And then I got it lightened even more, got more highlights added in. So at this point I'm still seeing Nicole. So Nicole cut my bowl cut, and then I just kind of kept up with her, and I still go to see her. She's actually opened up her own salon in the Junction in Toronto. It's called r&co Salon, and it is the cutest salon I've ever been to. Definitely check it out. So this photo here, my hair is cut quite short, very similar to how it is now, very blonde. This leads us to today, where I actually got my hair done yesterday. So I just got the roots touched up and got a fresh little cut. And I guess I'll show you guys what products I use as well. So my favorite is this one. It's r&co. Can you see? Yeah, so this one is r&co Aircraft Pomade Mousse, which is like definitely interesting. It's not like a typical mousse where it leaves your hair kind of crunchy. It just adds like volume and texture, and then hold, which is really good. And then I also use, I use this when my hair is wet before I'm blow drying. And then I also use the r&co Trophy. And so this is a shine and texture spray. So after I use the mousse, I'll spritz like a little bit of this in my wet hair, and then I'll blow dry it. I usually just like round brush it, and then I'll do one over just to hold it a little bit better. But I do really like both these products, and I will definitely continue using them because God, products are life-changing. But anyways, those have been the last 10 years of my hairstyles. I hope you guys found them as interesting and as funny, and the outfits included as funny as I have. I definitely liked going back through my Facebook and finding all of these images, and so maybe one day I'll do a like style transformation as well, so you guys can see how truly awful my style has been in the past. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below, and I will catch you in the next one.